Good morning. How's everyone doing? Oh man, a little bit tired today. I have to up my game, I guess. I don't know, understand why that counter doesn't want to change. I have changed the text down there, like the 1,200 milestone. It doesn't want to move. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Hey, Orby. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Eric. How's everyone doing? Tired. No energy. There has to be energy. Do some stretching. Hey, Pie Master and Svensson. Good morning. There's uh, Captain Jetlag. Good morning. Uh, all right. So, hey, Nefas. Always with the colorful emotes. Awesome. So today I think is also genre topic. So you can suggest horror, sci-fi, um, whatever, Western. I'll do my best to come up with something. Hey, Irish Nonsense. Good morning. Welcome back. Beatles. Sci-fi noir. Is Beatles a genre? I guess it is. Dark fairy tale. Captain Jetlag. Thanks, Lurib. Uh, except my parting here is I can never. It's from the dreads. It's always there, so I have to like brush it to the side. TMH Lava. Thanks for the host. Kilrathi Soldier. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Master 7777 Oz and Kohlberger Art. Thank you very much for the host. So we got one, two, three topics. We need three more to have a good. So the topic is genre, right? So if you could say that a type of movie, like an action movie or horror or thriller or post-apocalyptic, science fiction, fantasy, uh, genre of sorts, and I'll just do my best to come up with something. All right, let's. There's not a lot of topics coming in. Let's see if I need to fix it. I fixed it already, but it didn't want to work, so here we go again, one more time. Number 5. That is Old Chinese Dynasty then, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Lurib wins again. What was it? Old Chinese Dynasty. Old Chinese Dynasty. I can't spell today. That's how you spell dynasty, right? I guess so. Hey, Rogue 13 pull account. Thanks for the host. Paul Treffel, Novi Art, thanks for the host. Paul Treffel, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's start the timer. And get going. Old Chinese dynasty. Right, for me, what the image that came to my mind was like stereotypical Chinese hat. I know. and but was like a fortune teller, a little bit of like an old witch. So I'm really bad at Chinese dynasty. I don't really know what they look like. I have it kind of in my mind, but definitely not a clear picture. So I'll just kind of wing it. I mean, I wanna still do comfort zone stuff, so it's gonna just be some strange witch like Chinese like made up thing. I know that they had these cool, or maybe it's made up, but I don't think it's made up. Like these fingertips things. Paul Trefel, yeah. When in doubt, steampunk. Yeah, definitely. So I'm assuming most of you are gonna have days off for Easter, but as a Swede, we are not very religious, so we don't really celebrate it in the kind of religious way. So we will mostly just go out to the countryside and just have some fresh air on the fantastic extended weekend. What's everyone else's plans? I know Christians, I think they go to church, or they do something specific. I don't know. Lurib, yeah, postgodis. It's very Christian. Easter candy. My son, by the way, they had a dance competition in school, and his class got first place. Um, and he also, by the way, he got the answer for the math Olympics. He didn't get into the top 3, unfortunately. But the thing is also, like, he's smart, and he's too smart, so he doesn't study in that sense. Like, he didn't practice for the math test because he's so good at it. You know, he doesn't think he needs it. But I think I can now convince him that next time, like, you need to put some extra effort in. Otherwise, like, you know, he could have gotten definitely top 3 if he would have just applied himself a bit. The same for, like, he had a massive big test, like they had to study, and day before he hadn't, so he had to sit there, read everything again. He was like, oh, I know this. But the thing is, he did know it, but in his own words. Like, he could make assumptions and figure things out and make not assumptions but conclusions, like based on just some critical thinking. You know, which is weird in a way. Um, or good as well. I can definitely see myself in that, like that behavior. When I was little, I didn't really study for tests and so on. I just kind of read it on the way to school and winged it, but still got pretty good grades. Oh, Orbe, that's awesome. I don't think you know. I didn't know, but Orbe here, um, he works at Opus Arts. I didn't know that. He told me that yesterday. He was like, "Oh, I always watch your stream." I was like, "Yeah, you do?" Like, "Yeah, I'm Orbe." What? Now I know, and now you know. That's cool, Captain Jetlag. I'd love to learn to surf. I've never done it. I've done snowboarding though, but I'm quite sure it's not the same. But I can definitely assume there's a parallel. There's a parallel there. I was thinking the other day. I was looking at what's his name? Um, um, the guy that what's the guy that does ink or draws for Hellboy? The name just doesn't want to come out of my head. Or something on M. Is it? Isn't it? Modena? No. What's his name? Mike Mignola. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I was looking at his stuff. It's really, really cool. I love the like super strong black shapes. It's really cool. And I was thinking like I should start experimenting with that. But that is not comfort zone whatsoever. That kind of heavy inking style. Um, but that is definitely on the table as something I want to explore when I'm bored of doing these just straight line drawings. I think it will be. I think it'll be a really good lesson. Just to kind of block things out. Yeah, his style is really cool. I've always like played a little bit with that style, um, but nothing really. I haven't been persistent with it. I definitely see a lot of benefits practicing some of that. Um, it's kind of like blocking light in quite strongly and heavily and making the image read. Uh, it's a really cool style. Maybe I should just do that today. Just for the sake of doing something, because Chinese dynasty is nothing I'm really that prepared for. What's that other guy that doesn't definitely is not doing his that style, like Mike Magnola style, Mignola, uh, but his name is very similar. His nickname is Mad. He does what's it called? Darksiders was his game. His name is very similar. Maybe it was Mike also, or Joe. Joe Mad? Is that his name? Does anyone know? Anyways, I worked with him many years ago. It was one of the first contracts I had, and I also love his style, his way of drawing. It's a very cool. Very cool look and very strong shapes. I think that's his strength. He definitely has like control over shapes and design. Joe Madureira. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Louis. Yeah, it was fun to I had to one of the tasks when I was working with him was to paint his line art. It was fun to do, and at the time extremely challenging. Obviously, the shapes were very advanced, a lot more advanced than what I could draw. Probably still does. Oh man, today is I'm not feeling it. Could be the topic, or just one of those days. Hey, good morning, Kuro. Yeah, it was a fun game. Um, it I don't think it was a massive success. It was a game he worked on for NCSoft. Um, it wasn't his own studio. I think he did his this Joe Madureira. Uh, I think he made his own studio for Darksiders, right? He set up his own studio. Hey, Mr. Panka, good morning. Hey, Baba220. Welcome. One thing I love about Twitch and let's say YouTube is people's nicknames. It's like, is there 219 other bubbles in front, or was it just kind of smashing the keyboard with letters? That's one thing I would love to know the reason why everyone has their nickname. I think I should make a channel for that on the Discord. It's like, why explain your nickname. I remember there was a similar thread like that in on conceptart.org. Like people had to explain why they were called the way they were called. Babu, that's cool. So I said, yeah. Yeah, I used to have the nickname Hurricane, but obviously it was due to my surname. You know what? Let's try the heavy ink thing. See where we're going with it. What's gonna happen? Let's go. I remember really enjoying because when you hear a nickname every day and it becomes so familiar. For me, at least, I associate the name with a personality. Obviously, I've never met. Uh, I met Svensson. I think those. Oh, and yeah, I met Svensson. That's more or less the only person I think, as far as I can remember, that I've met in person out of all of you. So I associate the name definitely with. Oh, and Passenger, obviously Passenger. But I associate the name with what I think, who I think you are, right? Not who you actually are or reasons and so on. So it's always fun to see. It explains a little bit like who you are. Hello there, Bard. For example, Dear Bard, I want to know. Thank you, Dear Bard. I want to know Dear Bard's origin for his nickname. That would be very interesting to know. A Dear Bard. You know, when I play games, I try to have the nickname it's a silly one, Nordic Beard. Or on PlayStation, it's just my surname. Or on other games, I just use my real name. I don't know why I stopped using nicknames. I think also it's a little bit. I think biggest reason is marketing, uh, and that's why, for example, when I play games, etc., it doesn't really matter. But most of the times, like going by a nickname online might be good for anonymity, but might work against you, for work where they actually need to know your name. And I'm quite sure some people would be like, "Hello, Mr. Butt Smasher 57. We're interested in hiring you." That might not be, working in your advantage. It might not come off as um, very professional. So that's also for one of the reasons why I changed my nickname or stopped using nickname online. Because a lot of people know me by Hurricane, which is weird. Uh, I'd rather have that infamy associated with my actual name. I'm not saying I'm infamous. You know. Schmaze! Captain Jetlag, that's funny. That's a good one. Svenssonard, yes. Butt Smasher was the most inappropriate, but still kinda cleaned up I could think of, so that it sounded unprofessional without being rude. Yeah. Pie Master. You would hire Mr. Butt Smasher. All right, maybe. Maybe that's something I should consider then. Just stop using my name and go by the name Butt Smasher. That reminded me. I think I mentioned it at the stream before, but there is this one artist guy I met many years ago. He's a 3D modeler, texture guy, and his nickname is Poop in My Mouth, and he still uses it. So his website is called poopinmymouth.com. That could be also, um, interesting search history for an art director looking to hire someone. One thing that was that Mike Mignola? Was that his name? Oh shit with names. Does so well is like grouping of light and shadows, and that's something I'm definitely not super confident with, because I haven't done a lot of inking like this. And that's one of the reasons why I was looking at it the other day, kind of as a research, and it dawned on me like, oh, I should buy just a brush pen and a cheap sketchbook and just kill it with stuff like that, like this. I did it before. I started one sketchbook a long time ago. I went and bought markers, but yeah, I stopped because of time, etc. But I think it's really important thing to practice in general, just like how to group shadows so it looks appealing. And not everyone does it, or even does it well. A lot of people try, but I feel like that's something I should practice. Just in general, to get a cool rhythm in a painting. Oh, really, there, Bart? That's interesting. Pipe clogger. Cool. Yeah, it's cool. I think I need to go buy one. Hey, Hefez, bro. Good morning and welcome, and congratulations, you made it. You made it, and it will cost you a follow. You have to click follow. Now that you made it live, it's a must. I demand it. You must pay with blood. Maybe not. Kuru, I don't know actually, you know, like what is the best. But I think I definitely need to practice it. Just in general, it's just general feeling I have what I should do. And I learn by experimenting, and by experimenting meaning like I'm not going to try to make the best drawing I ever can. Um, just experiment with style, experiment with application of the kind of these block shadows. Like what happens with if I do this? What happens if I start adding these lines? You know, what kind of results can I do by just allowing myself to fail and see what happens. I mean, obviously now I'm just going with it, you know, not really trying anything in particular or have a specific goal in mind. Now it's just about, you know, testing what happens when I do this. And this was the spur of a moment of the moment. Let's add heavy shadows, you know. How much time do we have left? 3 minutes. Yeah, the dark side of the hurricane. Nah, man, I'm kind guy. A bit silly at times. That hand looks horrible, by the way. I'm not keen at all. It's too messy. Need to simplify there. Ah, whatever. Leave it. I wonder. Let's make a new layer so I can regret this. I've got all quiet now. Focus mode. Why did that happen? Sometimes my brain, I forget what I'm doing. I guess this kind of works. Let's cheat a bit and just do this. Koro, yeah. I feel the same thing. The hat is flat. The flat is hat. Um, but I'm running out of time, and I just gotta kind of try to get stuff in there. I doubt I'm gonna have time to make it all interesting. But I have one last little kind of Hail Mary attempt idea. I have one memory of looking at a Hellboy drawing the other day while kind of just looking at ink drawings, and it was like a gradient underneath the ink. Nothing like affecting the actual ink, but like in the white parts, you know. So I'm gonna try that just to see if I can't make that hat at least somewhat feel look a little bit better. Whatever. Nothing I can do now. Let's. What was cool was this is probably gonna need way more work, but let's experiment. And like that, and then like this, and then like. It was kind of like that, but obviously a lot better and not this shitty. I think it works better without, maybe somewhere in between, just for something in there. I don't know. It looks kind of shit. Let's highlight the nails, and then I have to call it done. I can start saying my goodbyes. Thanks everyone for coming. It was a weird day, a weird warm-up with strange way of talking and thinking. Very scattered mind today, I think. So I was glad I started doing this. I kind of like the idea of maybe including these heavy shadows, but in that means I gotta possibly approach it differently when it comes to how to focus, how to start the drawing. I felt like I did a lot of drawing that I then removed. So I gotta be more kind of, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you for the kind words. See you guys on the Discord. Discord button is underneath if you want to come hang out with people. Other than that, see you the next morning at the same time. Have a fantastic day, evening, good night. Thanks for the topic, Lurib. Here comes the outro, I guess. Bye.